Good afternoon, everybody, or rather good evening for those of you who've just joined us. We're speaking from Malaysia on the Sheila Exchange. I'm Sheila Singham, and this is my weekly column on conversations on this and that. A few weeks ago, I posted some stuff on Facebook about the things I think to be irritating about the way people use social media. And I got a lot of thumbs up and good response and comments. And one of those people who were very, very supportive of what I've written was Christina Amandeep Gill. She is in the business of image building and perception management. So she's the one who goes out there and tells people how they should conduct themselves. And as you can see, Christina has joined me now. Welcome, Christina.
Hi,
Thank
Sheila.
you.
Always a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you. Thank you for agreeing to be my guest on this segment. This is not going to be a serious conversation on the do's and don'ts of etiquette on social media. This is going to be fun. We want to have fun with this. So just to tell you a little bit about Christina, she's got more than 2 decades of working experience in customer service and hospitality and coaching and facilitation. She's a certified image coach. And she's an etiquette and civility coach. Now, etiquette and civility coach. You guys out there better mind your manners right now. I'm being very, very proper right now. Since she's an etiquette and civility coach, I'll ask you more about that. She's worked with clients like Malaysia Airlines, Firefly, Aeon Co., RHB, Petronas, Tenaga National, and many, many others. So, Christina, tell us a little bit about your work background. How did you end up here? Where did you start and how did you end up here?
Okay, good evening, everyone. And yes, welcome to this wonderful, lively session. A little bit about myself. Etiquette started at home. It always starts at home. And I was the daughter of a policeman. So, so I cannot not misbehave. So, I joined the airlines at a very young age, at 21, and I grew old with Malaysia Airlines. And being 21, you have a little bit of defect here and there when it comes to manners and etiquette. So we were corrected, we were straightened out in Malaysia Airlines. So as a flight attendant in the 90s or 80s, it was a little bit different from now. But in the 90s and 80s, you just can't misbehave. You were straightened out on how to walk, how to talk, how to smile, how to use our gestures, how to speak to customers. Basically, we were the ambassadors, right? Being a flight attendant for Malaysia Airlines, which is the national carrier, we were the ambassadors for Malaysia. So we were required to behave in a standard manner everywhere we go. And the elements of courtesy, the elements of respectfulness, the elements of graciousness, welcoming people and speaking to people and making them feel comfortable is part of our DNA. And I brought that DNA out of Malaysia Airlines. And I set up my own company called, am I allowed to say my company?
Oh, yes, please, by all means.
Yeah, you see, that's another courtesy, because courtesy is always asking permissions, right? That's
True.
Getting approval from people and showing respect to Sheila as well. Yeah. So I set up my own company called Inspire Enrich, where I focus a lot on etiquette, civility, perception management, dressing, how you conduct yourself from. A lot of people seem to think that etiquette and civility is for the high income people or the people of status, but no, etiquette is for everyone. It's free for all, etiquette and mannerism. So I actually I have both. I do etiquette training for the Orang Asli community, and I also do etiquette and training for corporations and even CEOs on how to conduct themselves internationally and also within their business community. So this is a little bit about me. And what else do you want to know about me, Sheila?
I don't know, but listening to you, I'm sitting up straight with my posture all very proper now, because I see this Malaysia Airlines stewardesses and they're all very straight back and with not a hair out of place. And I've always admired that. And you've also taken that DNA out of MH and you've also given it back because you've done training for them, right?
Yes,
So,
I did.
So you've gone into that, and it's interesting how something that became part of who you are, you turned it into a business. And I tell you, really, Christina, that is so needed out there. Sometimes I go out with people who are very wealthy, owning their companies. They're dressed up nicely in this designer suit. Then I go and have dinner with them, and then I watch how they eat, and I'm like, gosh, didn't anybody teach you like table manners? Okay, now I know who to call. Yeah, Christina, I'll just give the card and say, this is my friend, maybe she should teach you how to hold your fork and don't cut your bread, break your bread, that kind of that kind of stuff, right? And people are wondering, everyone's so chill and relaxed. Now why bother with all of that? Because I feel that whether it's fair or not, okay, and I might want to say that it's not fair, but people do form a perception of you based on how you conduct yourself.
Yes.
Right? So, and that's why, if you ask me, during MCO was a kind of, in a way, a best time of my life. Because I sat at home and lepak in my shorts and t-shirt did work, right? And I didn't really have to dress up. I did miss it sometimes, but you don't really have to dress up. And the danger is after MCO, when we're still doing things virtually, you just say to yourself, it's chill, and then slowly those standards go down.
Yes.
And of course, there are two schools of thought here. Some people say, why must we have standards and live up to something? I'm not saying you have to live up to anything, but I'm saying that there is social etiquette. There's expectations from people, right? So now tell me, how did you go into etiquette and civility? Now, what is civility? I am like amazed that people need training in civility. But then again, knowing some of the people that know and seeing how people behave themselves, yeah, you're right, they do. Tell us.
So etiquette, why did I go into etiquette is because, etiquette is it's not fluid, but it's the fundamental basis of building relationships and influencing people, right? So I find that, sometimes the little things that, we all want people to like us, right? We all want to have more friends. We all want to have more business counterparts. But, it's what we do that actually makes people glued to us. Of course, you have all these gurus out there who say, oh, you need to speak with influence. Yes, etiquette is about your action, your words, and your appearance. All these things take into effect, because if you are dressing, you're not only dressing for yourself, but you're dressing to respect the person that you're going to meet. Right? And when you're speaking, you're using words not only that but you're using words to influence the person to like you more. True. And when you behave, this is the etiquette is basically it's about it's a code of behavior, right? And a lot of people say manners. What's the difference of manners? Etiquette is a code of behavior. Manners is how you carry out that code of behavior. So mannerisms and etiquette go hand in hand, and etiquette is a code of behavior that makes everybody follow the simplicity, or it's not a rule. I won't call it a rule, but it's just a rule. I mean, you don't get arrested.
A guideline, like a guideline, and yeah.
Like, as compared to ethics is a set of rules, right?
Yeah.
Where if you break it, you can get into trouble. Etiquette,
correct,
you don't get into trouble. Manners, you lose friends when you don't have manners, and you all kind of people, right? So etiquette is basically doing something out of respect of the other person, doing something out of consideration of the other person. Yeah. And
so for example, right, I mean, I'm just wanting to clarify, like, so if someone invites you for a function, it's always a good idea to ask what's the dress code, right? And then sort of, if it's a costume party or if there's a theme, follow the theme. Like if the theme is red, then you went in green. Then in a way, that's not respecting. And then you can't turn around and say, I didn't know, you all didn't tell me. You should ask. Or some people, or some people showing up for a wedding wearing jeans and a sports shirt. I find that so disrespectful. And they might say, oh no, I don't like to dress up. No need to dress up. Just wear something nice. For the photograph, everyone wearing nice dress and all that. And then suddenly one fella in jeans and t-shirt standing there and like people look like, hey, it's a reflection of you, right?
It's a reflection of you, and it's a reflection of how much you respect the people that invited you to that function. And we talk about dressing, right? Going for a wedding as well, or going for a function, or going for a housewarming. Yeah. It's also customary to bring something, right? To the person's house. You don't go empty. It's also
empty-handed.
It's also etiquette. It's something to show that, hey, I'm grateful for you thinking of me, inviting me to come to your function. It's also respectfulness. You respect the person, but also etiquette is really huge. What you bring also takes into account.
You were saying something earlier about appearances. I'll tell you one horror story, okay? Long ago, I was a journalist, and I used to write about property. And so there was this developer from a foreign country who'd come into Malaysia, and they really wanted to make themselves as a developer of upmarket condominiums and all that. I'm like, okay lah. So my boss said they want to do. They asked us whether they want to do an interview. I said, okay lah, let me go and find out. So this lady, she kind of like said, okay, let's talk over lunch. So it took me to this really fancy Chinese restaurant to eat. And I sat down. I always, even as a journalist, I made it a point to dress well. You somehow command more respect. I've seen journalists who go in, like crappy sandals and faded jeans and a t-shirt, and I felt so unprofessional. When you don't dress well to represent your profession, I feel that you're not really respecting what you do. So I sat down, I was dressed well. She was dressed okay. I'm sitting down and eating, and I'm saying, appearance-wise, this woman doesn't check herself in the mirror when she steps out of the office. Okay, so anyone who's eating, you might get put off right now, but I'm telling you this because it's so important to have that last look. She had something in her nose, and this is lunch.
That's what
I'm sitting down there. No. She had a bit of snot in her nose. It was like sticking right there, and I'm like, food. And then she's having it. Every time I look at her, I couldn't eat. And so you're representing a luxury brand, and you're dressed down, and you're looking really drab. How do you convince me that you are capable of understanding the mindset of those people? I'm not being difficult or judgmental, but I'm saying that if you're representing a brand, you've got to look the part. Now, I want to ask you, when it comes to, let's talk about social media etiquettes, because that's the topic of today, right? Now, oh God, she's rubbing her hands. That means she's got a lot to say. Are you going to let me get a word in edgewise or not, Christina, at some point? Okay.
So much about social media. It's brought the worst and the best out of people, I would say.
So tell me, what bugs you the most? What bugs you the most about social media? I will tamba in and out lah. No, what bugs me also. Okay, let's talk about this.
I love to share one story. Okay. My social media, I have my company social media, and I have my personal social media. My personal social media is public as well, because I sometimes link my company postings into my personal social media, right? So the worst I had was during COVID. It was a scary episode where I had this very, I honestly, I don't care if he's listening. If he's listening, good. It's a slap on his face. But, I had this guy, very, very famous, prominent person, who probably found me out through another professional coach.
After this, you quietly tell me who. Okay, no, don't want to gossip. Okay.
But, because we are civil people and we have to behave in a proper manner, we will not mention names on Facebook, but we will talk about it later.
Yeah, we can have a cup of coffee and talk about it.
Yes. Yeah. So this guy actually saw my profile, saw my posting through his friends, who is my friend, a very, very famous, prominent guy. He sends me a message saying that I'm a friend of so-and-so, and I would like to connect with you for some business opportunities. So I was thinking like, yeah, good, right? Business, and the guy is also someone, who is in that line that what I'm doing. And I thought, okay, good. I said, fine. Then he gave me his contact number and I shared my contact number and, we communicated and we met up for coffee. We got to know each other over Facebook, met up for coffee. And the next thing I know, he's stalking my Facebook and asking me, because I normally go running. From people who know my Facebook, they know I go running either Lake Gardens or Taman Tun, either one. I used to go a lot to Lake Gardens because at one point of time, Taman Tun was closed. So I always share my experience, my running, my fitness goals. And he started sending me personal messages. You are not in Taman Tun today. And I was like, oh God, that's scary. So yeah, this is a very famous businessman who just, I guess, he uses people's names. I think you have a story as well. I'm sure you have a story. Uses people's names to actually connect to women or men, depending on their preferences, which one they want, or anything in between. I don't know, but and they use their friend's name and say, hey, I know, and this person has mentioned you, blah blah blah, and you feel okay, there's some connection, and you be friends, and you find out there was never a business motive. So it's very disappointing. So of course he's blocked and he's removed for life. For him, he's got a life imprisonment out of my Facebook. Totally.
Yeah,
I find. Do you have something like that to share, Sheila?
Well, I don't know. I think I kind of scare a lot of fellows off, so they don't try all these things. But God, lah, from overseas, some random person will ask to be my friend. At some point, I was getting all these friends requests from fellas from the US, purportedly from the US Army, lah, Marshal, this and all. I'll just cancel that. Not interested. Okay. Another thing. Oh God, general, major. I have all this, and so I am like, no, it's okay, no, thank you. And then, I mean, for those of you who know me on Facebook, you just know that I was happily married until 2 years ago when I lost my husband. So really, I think anyone who's trying to be cute with me is either dead insensitive or his brain is dead, because you would know I'm not going to lie on all day, I'm not going to entertain all this, right? Then I will have some people, some fellow, standing there with a hat and a pose, or bare-chested with dark glasses, Tamil movie hero, villain style, asking me to be a friend. First thing I do is I go and check out who are all the mutual friends, and all his friends list. If 90% are women and all the mutual friends he has are women, alarm bells go up, like, why are you only friending women? What are you trying to do here, right? So if a man ask me to be a friend, and I'll go look and see how many mutual friends we have. If we got 2-3 mutual friends, I usually don't accept.
So what's your criteria?
I will look at, say, anything sort of 10, 15, I will look. That I will consider. Then I'll go and look at their profile. First criteria, you must have a profile picture. If you don't have a profile picture, you're putting some plant somewhere or some God's picture or something like that. I'm like, warning bells. Why you don't show your face? If you want to be on social media, it's called Facebook, for goodness sake. Facebook, put your face there. You know what I mean? So if you don't put
yourself like 15 years or 20 years ago, because you're probably different as well, huh?
Correct lah. I actually, Christina, I wouldn't want to put my picture of myself 20 years ago. I think I look better now. Really, trust me. Those days you had bad hair days and all that.
That I think, from looking at Facebook, men tend to put their olden pictures because they had more hair then. I don't know.
Oh, you're so cute, and more muscle maybe. Yeah. So anyway, that's one criteria lah. Number 2, I look at your postings. If you're posting, you started your Facebook page in 2017, since from then to now there's no posting, why the hell are you on Facebook, on social media? Wasting time. Don't waste my time, don't waste yours. You're wasting that space, that real estate on my social media place, right? Place. And also I will look at what you're doing. I mean, in a sense that if you're there promoting your stuff, your social media, it's just used to promote your products and all that. I don't think I want to be part of that. So if you are from some, flower business there and you're promoting, asking me to join your business page. It depends. If there's something that you're saying, women's innovation, entrepreneurs network, that one I will join because it's a network. Yeah. So I can make an impact and people can make an impact on me. Another thing like you, people say, why is your Facebook profile public? Because one, I have nothing to hide.
Exactly.
Two, I am in the business of motivating and inspiring people. And I want to do that through my personal postings. And if I can reach someone out there and sort of who needed that word, and I've had so many people tell me, this is what I needed to hear today, Sheila. I just don't know. I woke up this morning, I was so down, and then I read this and I was like, and I'm not saying I'm a big guru or anything like that. I too get inspired by people's postings and stuff, And so I think, and so you want to reach out your network. Facebook is for expressing yourself, but in a circumspect way, and for networking with people. During MCO, because I couldn't go out, I started accepting more people. Before that, I was a bit unfriendly. People told me, you're not friendly, you never accept my friend request. I'm like, oh, okay, because, I don't know you, right? If I don't know you, some random person I don't know from Adam, no mutual friends all out, sorry.
So I want to ask you something. I have a question because I wanted to ask you. Right, wait, I have. Okay, this is what I find annoying, Sheila, because what is it that before I tell you what I find annoying, which I think I have a long list here, which is next to my laptop. But what
got time or not to say everything? Okay, yeah.
It's long. It's really long.
We have to finish, and we cannot carry on this conversation until tomorrow because I think if we carry on,
when people start seeing my list and your list, they probably want to know us more. So,
they might want to know us more. They might not dare to ask us to be their friend, but it's okay. I mean, I think, you and I are friendly people. Yeah, we're relatively approachable, friendly people. I had someone say to me that I wanted to go and give a talk to a bunch of women entrepreneurs, and they said, "No, I don't know whether you would fit our profile." I'm like, "Why?" Because you're a bit atas. To those who don't speak Malay, atas is a little high up there. I'm like, "Hey, have you seen me in my shorts and my singlet, a t-shirt?" Yes, when I come on to do videos like this and all that, I dress up. I take the trouble.
Exactly.
But half the time, I'm out there. I'm normal. I have normal conversations with people. So what bothers me about social media is people who become my friend and then think they can use that connection to start promoting their products to me, and then not only promote the products, they send me stuff on personal messenger and then ask me to go and share it around. I'm like, okay, if you ask my permission, let's say, Christina, you're going to do a public program, you could just connect with me and PM and say, Sheila, do you think anyone you know might be interested in this? If you're okay with it, are you okay to share this with those people? Not give me one ugly poster which you just looks as if you just threw everything together in a box and then put it out there. It's so ugly. It's got no proper information, no background. I don't even know looking at the poster what you're selling, right? And then you tell me to share it around. And then people selling me insurance packages. I mean, look at me. Do I look at that age that I don't know about insurance packages or don't have any? Ask first, Sheila, are you covered by insurance? Are you interested in knowing about an amazing new product that we have? I might say okay, I might say no. Because you're a friend, I will give on Facebook, I'll give you that. But don't start blasting me with this and that. And so all these people, I will just sort of block them or unfollow them or some unfriend also. Because I think that's really rude. Very rude.
Very rude as well, because you have friends who sincerely want to be friends with you, and then you have another group of people who know your friends, but they only see you as a business opportunity.
Correct.
They are not interested to build a relationship with you first, but they just want to just say hi, add the friendship, and then start promoting their stuff, and I get really cheesed off with people like that, honestly. And I, just like you, I'm very straightforward, and I will tell them, what is your intention of being my friend? I normally ask them, and also another, during COVID, I had this lady, I think we have the same friends. So,
Yeah, quite a few of them. Yeah, we need to talk, Christina. We need to talk about this.
She started tagging me in some insurance promotion thing for women above 40. Well, I'm flattered. I'm above 50, but
No, really? Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have guessed. No way, no way.
Okay. I'm waiting to be 55. I don't know
Why,
why.
yeah?
I can take out my Etiquette money. I'm just kidding. I just don't know.
It's so funny.
People don't want to grow old, but I want to grow old. But age is just a number. But she started tagging me with this insurance for women above 40. And the first few times I just untagged myself politely without saying a thing, and it continued to an extent. I said, are you not getting it? I don't want to be associated with this. And it was just one off day, where you feel really tired and someone just tags you and you say, okay, I had enough. And when she tagged me the last time, I commented that I said, I think it's very rude to tag someone without their permission, especially if they don't have the same interest with what you're doing. And then she sent me a PM. She said, oh, I saw your message there. I said, yeah, I'm really sorry for typing the message in public, but because many times I have told you, don't tag me, but you still do it. You still continue doing it. So this time I felt that I need to tell it to you in public and it's not my style to shame someone, but I didn't shame her. I just generally put it there.
No, I mean, if she doesn't want to get the message when you tell her quietly on PM, you have to tell publicly. It's like sometimes you whisper, tell people nicely. They don't hear, then you shout. So, no, you have to do that.
And that time she got the message. And
of course.
Again.
You see, unfortunately, some people just ask for this. Now, another thing that really bothers me is that if I post something, you want to comment, you comment. But if someone has commented something and then you go and start a fight on Facebook, on my page, on my posting with someone else, it becomes really unpleasant. Sometimes some time ago, long ago, I put something on Facebook about only vampires need to be afraid of the cross. I put it that way. So someone started a conversation and then someone else came. And there was this fight going on. It turned into a bit of a racist war. And then I PM them privately. I said, hey, I mean, why are y'all doing this? I don't do racist posts. I'm anti-racist. I'm anti-judgmental. I am anti anything that is right-wing and really, you're just being so negative and nasty to the world. I don't like. So I told this person, why are you whacking her and all that, And then he didn't get the point. He still continued. So I unfriended him. I seldom unfriend people. Yeah, seldom unfriend people. Yes. So I unfriended him. Then he quietly messaged me some more and he said, why you unfriend me and not her?
Did you unfriend and block or you just unfriended?
I unfriended. I didn't block lah. I unfriended, so he PM me. So I said, no, someone I've known a long time, you started the argument. So that's another thing. And then the next thing that bothers me on social media is, like you say, people tag you in stuff you don't like. Now, I only tag people who are close friends and family, where I know they won't mind and it's a matter of interest to them, So I think, so looking at all the different platforms, right? What do you think about the different social media platforms? What are some things that we need to kind of be mindful of, like in LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and any?
The main three ones that we always hear and work on are LinkedIn, Twitter, and for us in the business era and also for our personal life, yeah. Twitter, LinkedIn, and also Facebook. Now, let's say Facebook for last. For LinkedIn, basically, it's more for business, right? And
Yep.
sometimes, and off late also, I think it's the COVID illness, where it has the virus has gone to LinkedIn as well. I do get a few ads from people.
I think some people, this virus didn't affect the lungs, it affected the brain. What do you think?
It killed civility. It was so toxic that it killed civility. It killed common sense in people, and I get ads from people with no faces. And then, if it, just like you, I will spy, how many mutual friends. Even in LinkedIn, you see who are connections, not many connections. Obviously, he just set up his account and he's going to fish for thinking that I'm a sugar mummy lah. But hey, you guys out there, I'm not a sugar mummy. I have nothing to offer you.
But if you were to be, you'd be a delicious sugar mummy, Christina.
But yeah, I'm open to no, I shouldn't even say that. I was gonna say I'm open to no. I'm not actually. I'm very happy doing my own thing. But LinkedIn is basically for work. It's for businesses to connect with businesses, for HR people, to actually look for talent.
Yeah.
So let's keep it that way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and let's not, let's not, of course, in LinkedIn for the young graduates, young interns, don't go and add your GM, have some courtesy, send them, they're doing that. Could you please add me in your LinkedIn profile? Could you, you need to know the hierarchy lah.
You need to ask also lah.
Ask permission and start with your supervisor, Ken, and then go up to manager, then senior manager, then only you go and ask your chairman or your CEO to become your LinkedIn friend. So, there should be protocols that you need to follow, because you make a complete fool of yourself if you don't do that. And then you have the Twitter. Twitter is basically short breaking news, and Twitter is more on, you can communicate with anyone, whether they are your friend or not your friend, depending on what hashtag, right? And what you post is breaking news. So it's very good also if you're a person who like to just share things that like you, Sheila, like you, powerful, strong messages that is like, wow. Twitter is definitely you. Do you have a Twitter account?
I do. I'm not on it a lot because, there's instant quickly. I'm a kind of person, I need to sort of think about what I want to post. That's why I don't do things impulsively. Very rarely do I get impulsive and post something. Even if it's in the morning and I'm doing my morning meditation and something strikes me, I'll think about it. How am I going to put it? I always want to put things across elegantly. There was one time I was angry and I just said some things. And suddenly my mother came. Auntie called me and said you were ranting on Facebook. I went and read, why are you so angry? My friend messaged me and said, why are you coming across like that? I'm like, oh, then I realized that what an image you're creating, what is the perception out there? Sheila's really angry today. Something has happened in life. I started getting personal messages, WhatsApp, everything okay with you, And I love the fact that people notice and they love me and realize that something was going on. But then I also realized that while it's Facebook, you don't have to go there and bear everything lah. You know what I mean? There's some people who wash their dirty linen in public, everything. I'm like, so shy lah, you know what I mean? Embarrassing. Not only is it no etiquette, it's really undignified.
It's really undignified. I completely agree with you. If I would ask you, Sheila, what would be, now we have moved to Facebook, right? So Twitter is that. Instagram, I think it's more on presence as well. It's more fun, not formal. It's Instagram is big for, I think, the generation, the Y generation, and anyone who's got a.
We are breaking up, Christina. I'm kind of.
Oh, are you there? You okay? Are we good? I can't hear you though.
Yes, I'm here, but I seem to be losing you. Yeah.
Am I back?
Are you there? Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's at this time it happens.
I agree with you, Christina, because I tell you when I became mindful of really how I conduct myself on Facebook. Several years ago, I had a contract with a very, very prominent GLC. Yeah. And there were many people pitching from the job, and they gave it to me. And the topic was values. It's about integrating the values of the organization, teaching people the values, cascading it down, all that. And they had some very strong contenders. Now, I'm a small boutique outfit. Yeah. But I think what has happened over the years, I've established myself as the one word that comes to a lot of people is integrity and reliability. Yeah. So what happened is that I had, at the end of the whole program, the project owner, who is sort of like reporting to the CEO, he came to me and he said, Sheila, that was great. I'm really happy with the way this went. He said, there were some strong contenders for this and you were the second choice. I said, oh. He said, but what happened is when we had the pitch, the first contender, the strongest one, they couldn't even name what our values were. Whereas you knew all our values and you could tell us what it meant and how to translate it. And the next thing, Sheila, we went and checked all your social media accounts.
Yes.
We checked you on Facebook, your company Facebook, and everything. Because if I'm going to go and teach about values to an entire corporation, I need to be portraying very strong values. If I am there, I do have a drink. I go out and have a glass of wine here, but I can't be holding my glass of wine drunken there. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, this is a Muslim country. I am teaching values. So when I go out there, I need to, even if I'm having a glass of wine and I'm doing it in a very dignified way, no one's going to say anything. But how I conduct, I don't dance on tabletops. I don't, take pictures of myself in a swimsuit or anything like that. I'm very mindful of what I'm projecting because at the end of the day, I run a business like you, right? And how
glasses, Sheila, I would like to share with the audience out there that if you're taking a picture with on social media or for a company, if you're networking and you're having a drink, please put down your glass when you're taking a picture because you don't want to be seen as an alcoholic. In group pictures, put down your glass and have that shot and then continue holding your glass and having your drink. And I completely agree with you that, why do you need to hold your beer and take a picture in Facebook? It can send a message that you're having fun, but it also can send a message that you're an alcoholic. It's the perception of people, right?
You are so right. Once I was in Langkawi, duty-free country, right? So I was training 5 days in a row. And then Friday when I finished, I went with my friend, who had engaged me to do the training. And I went there and I was sitting by the sea and I was tired. I was naked. So I was like, my face was like, oh, so tired. And I had a margarita, right? I had a nice margarita there. And much needed because the whole 5 days I was in Langkawi and didn't have a drink, one drink, only that day. So I posted it. Yeah, I know. But so I posted that picture there, me and the margarita and the sunset and me like sitting like this with the margarita because I was so tired. And you know what some people posted? You look like you've had one too many.
Yes, perception of people.
So I deleted the posting. So I think what I want to say here is that it's okay to be authentic on Facebook and social media. I can see when people are being fake a mile off. I mean, that's my business line. I read words and words have an energy and so on. So I can see that if you're just putting it on there to tayang to the whole world, I'm this fantastic person, I can read that a mile off, right? But be authentic, be real. You want to comment on stuff, comment. If something is really matters to you and you really want to comment, do that. But be careful what you're posting on other people's Facebook because you can start an argument that can impact their business.
Don't share another person's Facebook page without permission, especially
a personal one.
Yeah, a personal. It's something that's personal to them. You don't just click share without asking them, I'm touched, is it okay if I share it to someone else? I think that's so rude, but people are doing that as well. But Sheila, I want to ask you something. I know we are ahead of, we are still continuing.
Yeah, we've gone over the time. We need to stop soon if people are going to go off, yeah.
If there were 3 words to describe you and your values in Facebook, what would it be?
integrity, authenticity, integrity, words not coming out. Integrity, authenticity, and inspirational. If I want to post something, I want it to be those. I want what I'm posting to connect with somebody here, for them to lift them up on their day, to teach them something that they can learn. And of course, I'm not all 100% of my postings are like that. There are times I'm impulsive and I do it, but I always go back and read. How does it sound? Right? What are people going to take away from it? And you know, to summarize, Christina, I want to just quote my late husband. He would always say something. When you want to say something, you ask yourself, is it going to help you to say it? Is it going to help the other person that you might be talking about? Yeah, or commenting about?
Mhm.
And is it going to help the person who's reading it? You know, sometimes we write things, you know, during the Najib trials and all, we're writing about Najib, writing about Rosman, this and that. And okay, you write about it as news is fine. Then there were name calling, they were calling them names. And I felt that was just so uncool, so mean, so undignified.
Character, isn't it? When they start calling names, I think even in one incident, I think where we both were sharing the same opinion about something that happened 2 days ago, 1 day ago, and you know, you're calling people names, you're calling people loose. I was thinking, like, how do you know?
Exactly. Were you there?
Yeah,
How do you know someone is loose or wild?
because I would say, you know, reading all that comments from people, and sometimes I do that. I think most of us do that, especially if it's a juicy topic. We'll see what other people are commenting.
Yeah. Yeah.
You come on, we've done that, right? So
No, I mean, we do that in many ways. I do it not out of a sense of, I've been a journalist. Yeah. So tendency is always to know more. I read more to know the backstory, as in sentiments and stuff. If it's really nasty, I don't bother to comment. I don't even want to engage. But if somebody annoys me by the prejudice, the judgmental attitude, the holier than thou attitude, then I'll just give them one whack gently, elegantly, and I'll go. I'll never yell and be nasty with someone, because that's not my way. You know, values are very important to me, and it's always about be kind but be firm.
yeah,
And for me, another word, you asked me for 3 words, being very gracious.
yes, very gracious. Yeah, and I feel that when you mention all that values, right? Those values should be transmitting in your Facebook, and I think it has,
Correct.
you know,
Thank you.
yeah,
And yours too, Christina. And that's why we are here together today. And I invited you, and not a lot of other people ranting and raving out there. But the thing is, I also think that in everything that we do, we have to remember one thing. Whatever you are portraying on social media is what people are taking about you.
exactly. And I would like to say that, you know, I was not like that before. A few years ago, you know, before I started my own business, I was very vocal, and I used to say things at the spur. I was very, I won't say I'm uncouth, but I will say that sometimes I say things without thinking, because I post my feelings, too much of feelings in my Facebook, without thinking that other people may form an impression of me. Right? And I had an advice from, I don't know if you know, our common friend, Jagadish Warren, one of the trainers as well. Jagan sent me a PM and he said, Christina, you're just starting and embarking into as a businesswoman. You need to be really careful what you post in your Facebook, whether it's personal Facebook, public Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you are. Please be careful what you post, because clients will be looking at you, friends will be looking, people who don't know you may one day see your post and remember that post, and they say, I read that about you, this is how you strongly feel about this thing, and they may not agree with that. So all that devils, that demons might haunt you back. So I feel that was the best advice. I was very upset with Jacob when he told me that. I was thinking, like, why can't you mind your own business? but you know, initially we will always be very resistant. But after a while, I said, yeah, this is how it should be, because if you, Facebook is for business, Facebook is for connecting with people, and if you feel that you want to make the most out of your Facebook and social media, then you have to have the right presence. You have to know your values, like what your values were very clear. You need to stick to whatever that you post according to your values, what you believe in.
Absolutely.
And don't go haywire, and don't post anything that's political, that shows favoritism towards a certain party. Even though personally you may show favoritism to, but you don't need to tell the world who you voting for, or who you like, who you don't like, because those things are really private. You can have
it's true. And you are judged later on. You are judged, because it's there for posterity. So just to end in conclusion, it is the age of virtual media, social media. We are marketing, we are selling, we are branding, we're doing everything more than ever on social media today, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter. We're using it, and we are being very visible on Facebook, and people can't meet us. They're going to be judging us from what we put out there. So we need to be circumspect. We need to be polite, to stop slamming each other, to be using Facebook to rant and be mean and all that sort of thing. And I think we have that etiquette of, as you said, Christina, ask people before you share or tag them, or be mindful of what you're posting. If you don't have anything nice to say about someone's post, then just just keep quiet. So I think that we
have to say, get a short notebook, say Facebook, have a black Facebook saying instead of blue, and write all the things you wish you could say.
That's right. Just you can do that as an exercise to download, journal it, instead of just using Facebook as your public journal. That last time more people say, oh, don't, he read my diary. And then now you scold people when they don't. You didn't read my Facebook posting. I'm like, people have got things to do. So anyway, we need to end because we've taken a lot of time. But it's been fun, Christina. Thank you so much for agreeing to be on the Sheila Exchange this Friday evening, and for all your insights. It was kind of like a real two-way conversation here instead of me asking you the questions. I really enjoyed it. We can continue this conversation in face-to-face one day. We'll take it out of the virtual arena.
Definitely.
And then
I know Joanna's going to take a day off and come and help me organize my office.
Okay, that's another thing. Maybe, we'll talk about that. I have this colleague, for all you listening, I have this colleague who I'm trying to get her to go into the business and become the Marie Kondo of Malaysia. So maybe we'll talk about that on another Sheila Exchange. Thank you, Christina. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And for everyone out there who's been listening, thank you for being with us. See you next week.
Bye-bye.